Alright, so now we're gonna start attaching this. We're not gonna do it in one piece. I'm gonna put a flange here, and it might make it easier for install. Yeah. This is a very generic 2-inch exhaust flange. You'll find these at what we call Mopac. You might call, you know, Advanced Auto Parts, or whatever name you have for them in your state, as most our viewers are of the American descent. So yeah, we're going to shove that on, and then we're going to make sure our fitment is as nice as possible. Granted, it would have been great if I could get this pipe just a little bit longer, but you know, using U-bends, and using U-bends that are free from friends as donations, you're kind of limited to what you can actually use. Again, this stud here, that's going to be removed, and it'll be going back to a normal bolt and nut. So I just tack this on, again 3 tacks, good idea. Just trying to get this perfect because it's a little bit, it's cut on a bit of an angle, hoping that I can find the perfect position for it to fit. Now these shouldn't be really under pressure because the exhaust should be flowing out. Now remember, we got to keep in line for this belt with the serpentine, so it's kind of running across there. As long as we don't go past that bolt, you know, we should have plenty of room, and we don't want the pipe again to be super close to the the belt, as it will melt it. So I think I'm going to tack it there, and then I'll go underneath and I'll tack the other side of the flange, and then I'll tack it on this pipe, and we'll be fucking laughing. You can see we've ended here. I'm still gonna have to die grind out this hole and get it all nicely tapered and coped in. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna essentially take this, put it on here, and then this section can come out on its own, that section can come out on its own, and we'll have no issues with it you know, having to take out like the K-member to take your exhaust out, or pull the engine out to take it out, and that sounds like a real pain. So there you go, that's tacked into place. This is going to make it really nice for doing it. I think I left the female or male section on this, so when I'm going to line this pipe up, I can just keep jamming her in till it lines up on the grooves. Then I can just quickly put this clamp on, you know, and it becomes one. You can even tell, like, just under hand pressure, this thing is on there solid, you know. But these are 14 bucks, these are 60 bucks, so depending on what suits your need, you might be better off with this. I'm hoping with this it'll let me rotate the pipe if I mess up my fitting by just a small amount. By no means is it gonna let you get away with murder, but it gives you a little bit of adjustability. And now, you know, as you can see, these are pretty solid into one. This pipe has flex. Alright, so now we got the 2 turbos off. Manifolds are just there. Bolts are just kind of loose and hanging in there. Now, engine's wobbly as fuck. And, yeah. So we got the 2 turbos there. We got our crossover pipe, and we got our Y pipe. So this all needs to get welded up. This needs to be port matched, and we should be good to go. Yeah, either gonna weld on the inside, probably the outside, because I got room for the nuts, and should be all right.
Alright, now that they're welded, yeah, we got them all welded up. There's the other one. So these are the crossover pipe and the Y pipe coming from one turbo to the other. Non-pressure, but it's a whole lot easier to wire them together to go in between that gap of the cross member and the K member and the motor mount. I can run a 2.5-inch pipe just through there. Let's see, hold the oil pan gasket, throw that out. Yeah, I'm sure some people run probably dual 2.5 or probably fucking 3 underneath, or they run coilovers and then they run them through the control arm and the K member where your springs would be, or where my springs are, and I ain't buying no coilovers. That stuff's a little too much money for what I want to spend, and yeah, don't want to, so screw it. It's part of the reason I bought the UPR K member is that I could run a inboard spring, because I don't want to buy coilovers. So yeah, we got all this in, we got our plug in the oil pan. You know, we're motoring along. Got all these studs in. They're pretty cool. Loctited them in, so hopefully they stay in. And then I'll never seize the nuts on, and hopefully they never break off, because we'll use a torque wrench to put them on, because we can put them on when the engine's out. So that makes it a bit easier. The manifolds are going to get sent off to get sandblasted, and then I'm going to paint them with some high heat paint, and then wrap them, and hopefully they last a long time. Alright, so I'll see you guys in a week.